Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night here. We are getting into another Grand Challenge battle. Battle number 13, and of course it is a VGC doubles regulation age match. So our opponent is going to lead off here with Gholdengo and Amoonguss, and we're going to lead off with Zebstrika and Maushold. Now, first thing I'm thinking of is that, okay, the Amoonguss is going to go for the redirect with the Rage Powder, so we obviously have to go for the Terrestrialization with the Zebstrika into Tera Grass, so that way we can actually get some damage off onto this Gholdengo. Next thing is we actually end up locking in with the Population Bomb into the Amoonguss, and let's hope that Amoonguss does not happen to have a Rocky Helmet. Because if it does, every time we get hit, that Amoonguss with that Population Bomb, that Rocky Helmet's going to activate and do some damage off onto our Maushold. So let's hope that doesn't happen. So here we go, Tera Grass. We're going to go into the Flame Charge here. We're going to actually boost up our speed. First thing we wanted to do, we wanted to get a hit off onto the Gholdengo, but unfortunately it is actually a Zoroark. So we actually ended up getting played here. Flame Charge did absolutely nothing to that Pokemon. That is the reasoning why. It is a Zoroark. So we actually end up going for the Population Bomb, and it actually activates the Effect Spore and the Rocky Helmet. So, yikes. Not good for us. I don't know why I even bothered trying to go for the Population Bomb here. Amoonguss trying to go for the Spore doesn't affect the Zebstrika because we are the Grass type. Now, we do have the option here to get the attack off onto the Zoroark. Amoonguss can't really do anything here to the Zebstrika. However, we are asleep, and we do know that there is the Rocky Helmet on to the other side. I did lock into the Population Bomb again because I didn't think we were going to actually wake up this turn. But we do get the Terrestrial Grass off onto the Zoroark, and we actually managed to pick up the KO, which is fantastic. Get a little bit of Life Orb damage there with the Zebstrika, that's okay. Maushold is still asleep. So here comes the Foul Play from Amoonguss, and that actually does quite a bit of damage. The more attack stat that Pokemon has compared to yours, Foul Play does a little bit more damage. Now, of course, in comes Serperior. Now, Serperior does have a pretty interesting ability called Contrary. It is a hidden ability, and every time that a stat is lowered, it actually has a reverse effect and boosts up the stat of that Pokemon instead. So we're going to see a Terrestrialization change here with the Serperior. Is going to go in for the Tera Fire. And this is looking very bad right now for Zebstrika, seeing as how we are a Grass-type Pokemon. We ended up going in for the Flame Charge here, boosting up our speed again, but of course Serperior took that hit like a pro. Maushold is still asleep, can't actually do anything here. And then of course Serperior is going to go in for the Tera Blast. Now, obviously, fire beats grass, so we are going to lose our Zebstrika here. Very unfortunate, but you know what? We do have other Pokemon behind in the wait, and may actually help us out here going forward. Now, Maushold, I believe, is still asleep, so here's the Foul Play from the Amoonguss, actually managing to get a hit onto the Maushold here, and we actually survived by about 11 HP. So in comes the Tauros. We're going to bring in Tauros here to lower some attack stats again, which is actually kind of dumb now that I think about it because of the whole foul play scenario. Because obviously Serperior is going to be the biggest threat here, so we got to get that thing taken out. So we are locking in to a Rock Slide. We're going to try to get some damage off onto Serperior because it's a fire type now. Rock Slide should actually do some damage. Maushold is still asleep, being absolutely useless in this battle. Can't really do anything, but there's the Rock Slide. Not really doing a whole lot to our opposing Pokemon, but he is ending up going to go for the Leaf Storm, going to get a boost in special attack instead of the reverse effect, obviously, and picking up the KO onto the Maushold. Now, the Amoonguss, of course, is going to go for a Spore, and unfortunately it is going to get that Spore off onto the Tauros. Now, could I have played differently in this battle? 100%. Could I have gone for a close combat? Sure, I could have. But I didn't. This is how my mindset works. When I get an idea in my mind, I kind of just roll with it. And I didn't really plan too far ahead. You only got about 60 seconds to choose your move, and unfortunately in my situation, my brain didn't work that fast. Lum Berry did end up waking up our Tauros, which is fantastic. We are going to see Amoonguss onto the field with us, and this is pretty much my main four here, as you guys are probably telling at this point. So we are going to go in for the close combat into the Serperior, and that is going to be able to pick up the drop on Serperior, which is fantastic. 2 Pokemon remain. You know, one of them is going to be that Gholdengo. Now, Amoonguss on the opposing side could still be a problem if it decided to go for the whole foul play. We ended up going for the Clear Smog. We were hoping that we were going to be able to lower the stats and change the stats back at the Serperior if we didn't actually knock it out. Spore coming back into play, and of course that is going to pick up the sleep onto the Tauros. And now we are going to see one of the big bad pokes in Generation 9 come into play, and that is going to be Gholdengo. Gholdengo, of course, does have the capability of going for the whole Make It Rain scenario, which is going to be able to pick up damage onto 2 opposing Pokemon. Rage Powder may or may not actually be an effect here. We might actually see something like a Shadow Ball or like a Thunderbolt. It seems to be also 2 other common moves of the Gholdengo. But we're going to have to wait and see what actually happens here, because I'm pretty sure right now our opponent is trying to decide what to do. So we are going to go for the Rage Powder just in the event that they decide to attack with something that is not damaging of 2 Pokemon. They ended up going in for the Shadow Ball, which actually I survived that. I'm pretty happy. Tauros, on the other hand, is not waking up anytime soon. There's the foul play. It doesn't really do a whole lot because I believe I'm a fighting type, but that's okay. We're going to lock into our moves here once again, hoping to wake up Tauros. Come on, Tauros, wake up. We got to take out this Gholdengo. Here's the Rage Powder, of course, going to redirect the moves back into the Amoonguss. Amoonguss also is going for the Rage Powder. Definitely a big raging moment. Shadow Ball going into the Amoonguss here, and of course we should be able to survive that. Down to about 43 HP, but we also get a special defense drop. Going to activate our Citrus Berry, and we're going to regain some of our health. Okay, Tauros, you are still asleep. It is not looking good because one more turn and our Amoonguss is down. So we really need to get a Raging Bull out here. Okay, and again, our opponent is going to be redirected into the Amoonguss. And of course, their Amoonguss is also doing a Raging Powder. Powder everywhere, powder all over the field. That's why the floor is so sparkly there. We're going to see a Shadow Ball into our Amoonguss again, of course. And this time it is going to pick up the KO because of the whole special defense drop. Now, of course, Tauros is onto the field. It actually ends up waking up, and it is going to go in for the Raging Bull, redirected into the Amoonguss, being able to pick up the KO. Fantastic. But we get a little bit of Rocky Helmet damage there. That's perfectly fine. We are hoping that we might be able to outspeed the Gholdengo. Depending on the IVs of that Gholdengo, we may or may not be able to do so. There is the Shadow Ball, and that is pretty much going to be game. So good game to my opponent. If you guys enjoyed the battle, you guys know what to do. Drop a like, post a comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next battle. Peace out.